I was in a process of getting a boat, and what ended up happening is,
Tell us a little bit about Ed Frank.
we was in Houston CIGAR week, and what happened is, so I went through maybe 5 different blends until I picked out that one in particular. That one had it out for 3 years before I actually put it into cigar lounges.
Is there anything that you could probably do within the next year?
Well, now I'm doing more setups, which I wasn't doing before, because people, for whatever reason, just want me to set up and just to sell cigars.
What would 26 look like for Misty Blu?
Oh,
Good day, beautiful people. This is The Black Consultant. I am your host, the one and only, yours truly, JP. As always, ladies and gentlemen, you are in for a special treat because today's episode, I got my girl Misty Blu from Ed Frank Mobile Lounge. And she just gonna go ahead and tell her side of the story, and we're gonna make it do what it do.
but thanks for having me here at this mobile inside the park. So this is my first time actually filming an interview inside my mobile cigar lounge. So thank you for that.
No problem, no problem,
Yeah.
no problem. Just tell us a little bit about Misty Blu and who Misty Blu is.
Well, Misty Blu, I started the name derived Misty Blu when I was a kid. My parents used to, friends rather, used to call me Misty Blu. So that's why I got that name derived from. So later in years, I ended up having Misty Blu World Entertainment when I started promoting different events. I started in 2015, right around the time when I started smoking, because I started smoking in 2015. So yeah, I started having, promoting different events, day parties, Bears football, after work sets, and even going out of town, doing house music events out of town. So I created the name Misty Blu World Entertainment. And how the cigars got involved, of course I was smoking, so I collaborated my events along with smoking. Like anybody, like if I booked a venue, they had to have a patio where I can collaborate, you know, the cigars involved with that. So that's where, you know, it derived from Misty Blu as far as Misty Blu Entertainment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you, tell us a little bit about Ed Frank. I got the cigar, she got
light it.
cigar out. I'm gonna go ahead and light it up in a second. But tell us a little bit about
Ed Frank.
Ed Frank.
Well, it's kind of a fun fact, fun story. It really wasn't on my radar. What was on my radar was having a cigar lounge. But you know, I know it takes time and money, and by me working 9 to 5, you know, that's just too much to get involved. But actually, I was in a process of getting a boat for me and my girls to hang out on a weekend, a yacht, like a baby yacht, a 30-footer, to hang out. And what ended up happening is I went to Houston Cigar Week back in 2021. A bunch of us went, and Maine, you know Maine.
Yeah, I know Maine.
Yes,
he kind of caught a little mention in episode 2. So
yeah, you actually sitting in this chair. I call it the Maine chair. But I'm gonna tell you why. We was in Houston Cigar Week, and what happened is, it was a guy there with a mobile cigar lounge, and he was like, "Hey, Miss, you should come check it out." So I went inside and I thought it was nice, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is nice." We stayed in there for a couple of minutes or whatever, went back out smoking, and Maine was like, "This is something you should do. You should, you know, have a mobile cigar lounge." I said, "I really ain't thought about it, really." So it wasn't until after I got back home from being in Houston, and I just did the research on it. And one of my friends in North Carolina, or South Carolina, has one. He has a mobile. His name is they call him Hollywood Jenkins. He has one too, and he gave me some tips and stuff. And I ended up canceling the boat situation. And
but it worked out. What it worked out?
Yeah,
like
it worked out. That money
went.
Got shipped, and I ended up getting this mobile. So within 6 months, it was up and running, going through contractors and everything else. So In December of 2021 is when I came out with my grand opening at El Waddles at the parking lot.
Okay.
That people came out to.
Okay.
So, and then the name Ed Frank came from my parents.
Okay.
My mom's name was Edna and my dad Frank. They both deceased. So I
Okay.
just abbreviated her name and just did Ed Frank. So that's where the name Ed Frank Mobile Cigar Lounge came from.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
you did, okay. So tell us a little bit about, before I flame this Ed Frank cigar. I don't know if I show it to the camera. The camera can see it. But tell us a little bit about Ed Frank cigar. It's a
Well,
great cigar, by the way, if you haven't had it.
yeah, not just me saying it's a good cigar. Actually, I had that cigar out 3 years ago when I came out with the mobile, because they were telling me you should have a house stick, for your mobile. So I went through maybe 5 different blends until I picked out that one in particular. That's all Nicaragua. The Nicaragua wrapper, the binder's Nicaragua, and the filler is Nicaragua and Colombian. So the notes on it is when you take the first draw, the notes is like a red peppery taste to it. It flows into like an apricot, and it's like leather notes. So that one, like I said, I had it out for 3 years before I actually put it into the cigar lounges. So it's been working out really well. It wasn't until early this year, one of my guy friends, his name is Art Russell, he brought up, because he wanted to get one of my sticks, and he was like, man, you should have these in a lounge. And I said, well, I just catch me when I'm out doing festivals. He said, no, you should put them in a lounge. And I just did the logistics, and actually Sam at Platinum, the owner of Platinum, Sam, he came to me actually a year ago about putting these cigars in his lounge. But, I really wasn't ready. So when I was ready, that's when I had my first cut and light. And from there, that was in March. So now it's in 11 lounges now. The cigar, you can get those in 11 lounges out this way in the south suburb, and 2 of them in the city. So yeah, it's been working out really well. Everybody seemed to love it, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's a great cigar, man. I gotta tell you, I love it. I think I was at Tap That Ash when I first tried it. So it's a great cigar. Like I said, if you haven't had it, go out and get it. I know she's at Tap That Ash. She's at White
Platinum,
Smoking Ash.
Embassy.
She's in at Waddles.
Yeah. All the
She's at
south
Platinum.
suburb lounges have them.
Pretty much all the south suburb lounges pretty much have your cigars. So that's the beauty. And they can personally, if they're out at an event of yours, they can personally purchase from you directly.
Right, exactly. So that's for now. I'm possibly in talks of coming out with another cigar. Maybe towards it'll be a limited edition for the winter time, a cigar to come out. So I'll just wait for that, and then I'll start delivering, get a delivery service, because other people from out of town inquired about my cigar too, so they'll be able to order online and get the cigars from there. So yeah.
You're doing your thing. You're doing your thing.
Trying to.
Tell us a little bit. I know you didn't do it this year, but tell us a little bit about your golf event that you normally do.
Yeah, I usually have a golf event. Been doing it for like 4 years. It's called Cigars and Pars, meaning pars for golfing, where I collaborate, where it's almost like golfers and a day party. Golfers meet a day party. So you have these golfers. It's only 9 holes, because 9 holes only like 2.5 hours. And afterwards, about noon, then that's when I have the spectators. They come in, it's DJ, live music, which would be a saxophonist or something like that or whatever, performance entertainment, full buffet for everybody, food buffet. And it's been working out, but the last couple of years it's been a little shaky as far as the golfers. I used to have it around Juneteenth, but everybody, Juneteenth along with Father's Day has become very popular now, so it's kind of like the sticker sales was low. So I'm going to do it again next year. I had to cancel this year, but next year I'm going to do another one and see what happens. So everybody always asks about that, because they really enjoy themselves, especially the spectators when I have it. So it's always in Munster, Indiana, where I usually have the golf event, but it works out very well doing it. I don't know too many people that does it that way, as far as having tickets for spectators, which is actually a day party for them. So it works out really nice.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay. What other events outside of the golf thing that you do? Is there anything else other than the golf?
Not for myself personally. I do a lot of private events now. Going to people's home for birthday parties. The biggest one, a lot of women like to surprise their husbands with the mobile all the time. This year for Father's Day, I had 9 wives to surprise their husband. For Father's Day, they took them out to eat. They came back. I was set up, so all of them were smokers. So that was really something fun to see. 9 guys were in the mobile, and they let them do their thing and smoke cigars. So that was great. Me, as far as going out of town with the mobile, I did that last year. One of my friends, she had a private birthday party. Then I ended up booking a block party the same time. So that weekend was nice, going out to Atlanta. That's my first time taking a mobile out of state and doing something. So that was nice. So a lot of people have inquired about that. One being Houston, coming out there with the mobile. And also I was thinking about Detroit, but since that's a little bit closer, so that'd probably be the next one if I do another one.
Okay, that's good. I know you mentioned your parents a while back.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit about your parents, because you kind of named the
Yeah, my parents were not cigar smokers. They actually used to smoke cigarettes, but my dad, he used to be a part of a lodge, like when he was in the service, and all of them, I used to think it was so classy. I mean, from the picture that I'll show you later, a picture of them, my parents, my dad used to have, like, every month someone in the lodge will pick out, the house each month to have something. They'll just have basic meetings, and afterwards the guys will play cards. And back then I was only like 8 years old, and I used to see these grown people, which is different for us now, coming to someone's house in suits, 3-piece suits, or the ladies dressed up, in their dresses, and the ladies would be on one end and the men would be on the next end, like in the family room having meetings. Then after the meetings were over, they would come together, have, dinner, and then they'd be back there playing cards, laughing, talking, and drinking. And I just said, when I grow up, that's going to be me. I want to do that. What's left out is the cigars. Sometimes I think to myself, if I can take back time or whatever the case may be, I know it wouldn't be happening, but if I had a mobile cigar lounge for all those people to come in, they really would enjoy themselves. But no, yeah, it's been nice. But my parents been deceased for like 25 years, so it's been some time. So if they could see little Misty Blu now, they probably would have a fit.
never know. Maybe not. They probably be proud.
Well, in a good way. Have fit that I'm smoking cigars and stuff like that.
What made you get into smoking cigars in 2015?
A couple of my friends used to smoke, and guy friends used to smoke cigars, and I used to tease them and say it was a bad habit. And
then you started getting in, partaking into the bad habit.
And I'm glad that, I started smoking when I did. Because smoking, it was only very few women at the cigar lounge. So one of my friends that had his wife to come along and smoke too, because it wasn't many women in the cigar lounge. I mean, I started smoking at Habanos over there in Tintley Park, and it'd just be very few of us in there smoking. And it just grew from there. I wasn't anticipating anything. I wasn't looking for anything like, oh, let me go and see where the crowd is at. It really wasn't like that. It was just a place where something that I wanted to try. And here I am 10 years later, done took off into the cigar community, cigar culture, and just derived from the mobile, the Ed Frank cigars. I won Sister the Leaf, which was on a national level in Miami in 2003.
I see blue is your color. You got the blue hat, the blue shirt.
I had to bounce it off with blue. Yeah.
The blue every day. It's signature.
Yes, I had to bounce it off, Misty Blu. So yeah. Yep, so that's how I went. So yeah, I'm happy what I'm doing right now, what I've accomplished. over the last 10 years. I really can't see it because I'm a modest person. It's just that I get other people that always, mention about what I've done and stuff like that or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like I always just had a passion for doing what I do. It's not about like a money grab, because some people see the mobile and they say they want to get one. I want to get one, because they thinking of making money. You get people who don't know nothing about cigars and they see it as a money grab, but it's really not like that. I saw it as something that I wanted to do, passion that I wanted to do as far as with the cigars, and it just worked out that way. So I'm happy about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. If you could tell someone that's trying to get into this business, what advice would you give them? What would you tell them?
Well, one, like I mentioned, have a passion of the cigars. At least smoke the cigars. You got people who want to invest and they see it as money, but you got to have something. You want to have customer service skills. That's the main thing. It's all, unfortunately, with us, that's the stigma, is being late and customer service. And those two, I try to exceed in those two things. I always come early when people have events. Customer service is always, I always try to do top tier customer service, because those people are the people who refer you to someone else. So the main thing I always get is people, after I do their events, is they respond on my page like, oh, she was so professional. And it's a good thing, but then it's like, man, this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be professional. But people give you accolades for just being professional and doing what you're supposed to do, as far as treating everybody nice and asking about, what do you need and stuff like that. Then also, sell the cigars. I may get some new smokers who haven't smoked before and want to try it. So, I show them what to do, because majority of the people who book my mobile, seriously, 90% of the people who book my mobile are not smokers. They book my mobile for, as far as enhancing their event. You pull up in front of someone's home and you see this big thing and they like, oh, what's that? So it's more of the entertainment for a lot of people to have the mobile out. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Outside of the Ed Frank cigars, what is your favorite cigar to smoke?
Oh, that's a good one. Let me see. There's so many that I smoke. I'm gonna have to go with Davidoff, the late hour. That's my favorite one right there, Davidoff. So outside of Ed Frank is Davidoff. Of course, it's Cotwell, because Cotwell, that guy, I'm gonna tell you about that guy. Cotwell Cigars, his name is Robert Cotwell. When I first started off, before I even had the mobile doing the cigars, I met him in 2018. And when I threw in a favor or, asked him for something as far as sponsoring, when I had awards, like I just did an award show or something like that, he was, let me know what you need type of guy. So that's why his cigars is on my mobile on the wrap. Not Ed Frank, Cotwell Cigars. It's the Blind Man Bluff. The picture of it is outside my mobile on the wrap. Because, he was one of the bigger sponsors, biggest brand that sponsored me a long time ago. So I never forgot that. So he's always a good guy to me, Cotwell Cigars. So, yeah.
Okay. What advice would you give your younger self if you had an opportunity to talk to your younger self? What advice would you give your younger self?
You know what? This is going to sound so vain. It's like I'm on track what I envisioned when I was younger. I kid you not. I had a book, while you was in 8th grade, even as a kid, you have these report books they used to give. I don't think they do that no more. Or like a yearbook where you're gonna be at 10 years from now, where you're gonna be doing that. It's so weird. It's like I always thought that I was gonna be what they used to call a yuppie, into the business, the corporate world, which I am. And I said I was gonna be married. I used to be married, now divorced. And little stuff like that. It's just, I was just looking at like a year ago when we was cleaning out the house or whatever, my parents' home, and I was looking at this book and I was like, wow. It's like I'm on track to what I was supposed to do, let's say 40 years ago. I mean, I'm 54, but 40 years ago when I wrote this in this report book about what you're going to do, what you plan on being and stuff like that, it's like it's actually just on track. It said I was going to have a luxury car. I mean, I'm not, I can't make this up. So it's like I'm on track of what my younger self had predicted. So
you
yeah, I'm on
keep
track.
Going.
Yeah, I got to keep
going.
going. Whatever my younger
right.
self predicted is like it was predicting the future of my younger self. You know, so yeah.
Okay, is there anything that you could probably do within the next year or next summer for your mobile lounge that you would like to do? What would that be? What would that look like? What would 2026 look like for Misty Blu?
Oh, well, I can't say more events because there's only so many events that I can do. Well, now I'm doing more, not only with the mobile, I'm doing more setups, which I wasn't doing before. Because people, for whatever reason, just want me to set up and just to sell cigars. So this was actually my first year of doing that. The selling the cigars inside without the mobile, because the first 3 years I didn't do nothing. If you did not get my mobile, I didn't do anything, you know. So this is the first year where I kind of took a step back and people wanted me to do stuff inside, especially in the wintertime and stuff like that. So I started doing that. So next year be more along that line, especially with the cigars. I plan on putting that in other states. With the Air Frank cigars, that's going to continue to grow. So that's what I'm looking at for Air Frank. I'm just going to still hold on to the one mobile, because a lot of people ask me about franchising, but sometimes you got to be careful with the franchising, because you got to be really think about who's going to carry the Air Frank brand. You know, you just don't want anybody because they got money. You got to look into the person actually that's going to be running around with your name that they're doing business with. So
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds good. That sounds incredible. 2026 is even better than 2025.
Yeah, it seems to be growing, so I have no complaints yet at all. So everything is going well.
Well, what are you on social media platforms? What social media platforms are you on? Where they can find you?
Well, people can find me on Air Frank Mobile Cigar Lounge. That's on Facebook and on Instagram. And if you're not on that, you can find me on my website, which is mbwentertainment.com. That's for, you know, my entertainment, my Misty Blu World Entertainment. So it's mbwentertainment.com. They can scroll on there and they can see all the stuff that I done in the past with those events. Yeah.
And I would like to see that golf event, because I was gonna come, and then you canceled. I was like, ain't that about
I had to. I just didn't want to have an event where you only had very few golfers and you had spectators. So it would have looked more as, instead of a golf event, it'll look more as like a day party with only a couple of golfers.
And so in order to get that whole thing, how many golfers would you say you would need?
I would say about 40. About 40 golfers, yeah, to get it. This year was low, tremendously low, for whatever reason. I don't know. You know, a lot of people came at the last minute, but, you know, I have to get a certain number, because the thing is, I want to close off the whole golf course. That's the thing. So in order to do that, I would need a certain number, like I've had in the past, with the golfers to come out. So that way you don't have, you know, strangers coming in, golfing in between, because, you know, I have the entertainment there. I have, 1 year I had Uncle Nearest there set up doing tastings, and I don't want to have them set up and you have just a stranger coming up and they drinking, you know, doing the tastings too, and they reaping the benefits of people who had paid for the tickets. So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well, that sounds good, and that sounds great.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for coming out and just making time for me, because I know you're a very, 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 very busy lady, and you're out here doing your thing with the mobile lounge, and you pretty much everywhere. I know you said you didn't go You didn't go too far. You remained local this year.
Yes, this year remain local. I had some people who wanted to have me come out. I think I was going to do one in Kankakee, which is not, that's like 40 minutes away. Do something out there for a bikers event, but I didn't hear back from them. But this year was just, like you said, mainly local. Last year I was out of town. So yeah, it worked out good.
You gonna go back out of town in 2026, or you gonna keep it local?
I may do that. Like I said, Detroit is on the radar. Detroit, I'll take that back. Detroit and Indianapolis.
Okay.
Indianapolis. I have a guy out there who wanted me to come out and do the Circle City Classic. So, might do that. Someone else mentioned about coming to Mississippi for one of I think that's right, Jackson, Mississippi? Yeah, for Jackson's homecoming. I think that's in October, actually, so that might not be too late. I may look into that. I don't know. So, yeah, Jackson, Mississippi for their homecoming. I heard it's huge. And Alabama, now that we're talking, and Alabama, too. So, for their event they call Magic or some Magic City Classic or something, all relating to college football. So, HBCU stuff. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as the saying goes, and the statement is, that's all, folks. I appreciate you for coming out.
Thank you.
I enjoyed the conversation. Y'all go ahead and book my girl, Ed Frank, for all your events, parties, birthdays, Father's Day events, whatever it is that y'all trying to do. Please book Misty Blu. It's outdoors. See, we just had a conversation.
Right.